Good evening. My name is meteorologist Christopher Hale here at the weather farm, where current temperature sits at 72 degrees. Winds are generally calm. They've been out of the west-southwest for most of the day. Our dew point does sit at 65 degrees. It is a little sticky, so you may notice that if you're out and about this evening, but it can be a lot worse here in Indiana during the month of August. If we expand our view out a little bit further, we see that at this hour, temperatures are generally also in the mid-70s across most of the four-county region. Crawfordsville, you're sitting at 74. Ladoga, you're at 74. New Ross, you've dropped down to 71. Roachdale at 74. Looking up to Boone County, Lebanon, you're at 72. Brownsburg, you're at 75. And Avon, you're down to 74. Temperatures will drop about 5 or 10 more degrees overnight, settling into that 65 to 70 degree range. Looking around the region, we see that temperatures at this hour are generally in the 80s across most of Indiana, the exception being toward the northeast of Indiana, which is in the upper 70s. But look out west, we see temperatures across most of Iowa are in the mid 80s. Quincy, you're sitting at 89. And when we look at those dew points, as I mentioned, it's not bad here in Indiana with dew points generally in the 60s across most of the state, but just look out west. There are mid and upper 70s. Ottumwa, you have a dew point of 78 at this hour. We factor that in with the temperatures and we see, again, heat indices across most of Indiana are sitting in the 80s, but out west we see heat indices in the mid to upper 90s here at this hour. So let's look at our overall pattern of our weather over the next few days. We see that we have this ridge of high pressure over the eastern half of the United States. That remains in place for most of this week until later in the week. About Thursday or Friday, the winds will start to turn out of the northwest. That will usher in drier, cooler air for this upcoming Labor Day weekend. Looking at, now we have a low across the Dakotas that's going to bring precipitation over the next 24 hours. That moves east and kind of falls apart. It may give us a scattered chance of storm, but it's this line on Thursday that moves in our area on Friday that gives us the best chance of precipitation over the upcoming work week. Low temperatures tonight across Indiana will generally be in the 60s away from the cities. Indianapolis, your forecast low is at 71. Tomorrow will be just about a degree or two warmer. We hit 90 degrees today. We're going to bump that up to 92, and low 90s are across most of Indiana. Again, looking out west though, we see those temperatures are approaching the mid and upper 90s across parts of Iowa and Missouri. On Tuesday, this particular model wants to forecast a high temperature of 95. I think that is a little aggressive, given we've not had a temperature of 95 or higher since July of 2022. In fact, our high temperature for 2024 has been 93 degrees. Yes, the ground is very dry. We've not had precipitation now in nearly 5 days. The month is running behind in our precipitation. The lawns are browning up a little bit. All those things lead to sinking warm air. It wouldn't surprise me if we hit 95, but I am going to go a little bit lower just because we've not hit that temperature this year. Again, on Wednesday, we're going to take that temperature back down to about 92. Again, average high this time of year does sit around 84 degrees. As we enter the last week of August and we start to be prepared for September, meteorologically speaking, hurricane season does peak on September the 10th. We've not had a lot of activity recently, and so when we take a look at the tropics, we look at the coast of Africa down here, we really don't see any waves that are organizing or show signs of development. And in fact, the National Hurricane Center has said that over the next 48 hours, they don't expect any tropical development. And in fact, they've even extended that to say there's really no tropical activity expected over the next 7 days. So taking a look at our forecast here at the weather farm for Hendricks County over the next 7 days. Again, as I mentioned, temperature is 92. Tuesday I have thrown in 40% chance of storms. Those are going to be driven by that afternoon daytime heating. It's another reason why if we cloud up early enough, I just don't think we're going to get to 95. I am forecasting 94 for both Tuesday and Wednesday. As we get back into Thursday, we see temperatures drop to 93. There's that better chance of rain on Friday, late in the afternoon, early evening, temperatures at 90. And then for the upcoming Labor Day weekend, temperatures in the low to mid 80s, lows dropping down to near 60 degrees. Again, we hope you've enjoyed your time here at the Weather Farm. We hope to see you again soon, and have a great day.